Welcome everyone to Random Wrestling Talk, episode number 14. Today is going to be a little bit of information, news, and rumors that I've read online about WWE and AEW. Start things off with this show today. I'm going to go ahead and talk about AEW and the news and rumors I've read and came across through other YouTubers or things I've actually read online by myself. Just a little bit about the All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view coming up next week in 6 days for May 25th's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. One thing is that this pay-per-view is way too fucking expensive for me to purchase. To purchase it on television for a traditional pay-per-view type of event, you're going to have to spend $64.99. Yeah, you heard me. $64.99. I can't afford that. So somehow, some way, I'm going to have to figure out another way to stream and watch this event. I probably won't be able to watch it live. I'll have to watch it the next day on a Sunday, May 26th. So if you guys happen to see this review done a day later than the actual pay-per-view itself, that is the reason why. I'm dying to see this, but I'm not dying at the point of putting myself into any kind of financial issue. So, give or take here or there, I'm going to have to figure out another outlet to watch this event without spending a ton of fucking money. So that's a downside about this. Another thing I noticed is that Pac, actually formerly known as Neville, has resigned from AEW already before even going into an actual televised event. He quit over debate on creative decision, which is very awkward. Kind of saw that on JD's thumbnails and didn't really get into a whole lot or hear about what he had to say on that, what he observed from that news and information that he got. But there is something else. AEW is officially now part of TNT. So Ted Turner is back in the game a little bit, somewhat, at least with his own brand of television, has accepted professional wrestling back into his world. I don't know how that plays a part in Vince McMahon's mind, or if he feels that is any kind of competition or should be taken seriously. So that plays a big factor into things. I don't know if that will play a factor into his own mind, but quite frankly, the way things are going in WWE, it's not been all that great. Since we're talking about WWE, let's get into a few things I've found or read or even heard on YouTube from JD to New York 206, who I'm a big fan of, as well as other people that have stated information that they have read about that I haven't come across yet. So I looked up online about WWE possibly selling the company to another owner. The McMahon selling it. Now, Vince McMahon was on a news article of Variety magazine, I think it was called. He was asked in an interview if he would ever plan on selling the WWE. Well, in the past, he's made a broad, wide kind of statement that it's a possibility or whatnot, but never in a confirmed kind of statement. Well, this time around, just recently, on this interview, he stated we're open for business, meaning they're open for offers. Now, quite frankly, if you really look at Vince McMahon, you see what he's been doing with the WWE. You've been noticing what he has, his attitude, his overall body language. he doesn't play that same persona that he used to with the cocky attitude, the strut with his legs being separated, looking like he's shitting his pants type of look. And just really antagonizing the crowd. Now it's just more along the lines of like him basically pointing his finger at everyone and saying that they're stupid, literally. Not through a character, but literally through him being himself, the real Vince McMahon, saying that he thinks his fans are idiots. I think he's given up on professional wrestling. I don't think his heart is in it anymore. I don't see him as a guy that is interested in professional wrestling. Honestly, I do believe that if XFL picks up, and it has been stated in an article I read on NoDQ.com, that there's a possibility if XFL picks it up and they really are becoming successful, they're not losing any money, they're gaining some money and having profit, and it's going over well, Vince McMahon is possibly going to think about selling the company to another owner. Now, when you think about that, him selling the company to another owner, I think it's very disrespectful for Vince McMahon to sell the WWE. I think the WWE should stay in the McMahon family forever. That is something his dad made. His dad made popular. Vince McMahon Jr. himself made the company even more popular. He gained a large audience. And for him to want to consider selling it, I think is a horrible thing to do. I think if he's out of it, he's not into wrestling anymore. He's just burnt out from the whole wrestling industry itself, and he just doesn't feel it's for him anymore, and he needs to venture out on something new. Fine. Give it to Triple H. He's a great successor. He's a good, worker. He's hard. He does a great job with NXT. He takes that and transverses it to the fucking WWE's main roster. You know how many people will be happy and ecstatic about what he's doing on the main roster? People will be entertained. People will start gravitating back to WWE again. I mean, there's nothing that you're going to lose from doing that anyway. What are you going to lose? More fans anyway? It doesn't really matter. You're losing them anyhow doing it the way you're doing it now. You already lost me as a fan. I'm not really interested in watching the fucking company. I really don't see any purpose of watching WWE live anymore. NXT, I don't even see the point of watching them either, because of the fact that even though, yes, the show is great, all those guys are going to go on the main roster and they're not going to be used. Truthfully, NXT and WWE should be a connected thing where people watch NXT to get an understanding of the characters, so that when they come to the main roster, they'll understand them and they won't have to do anything special with them. They just let them go out and do their thing. The thing here is, there's nothing there. There is really nothing there. There's no element of giving the audience an interest in it. And then when you change their gimmick and change who they are, it's like, what was the point? NXT should be a building block for people to have an understanding and grasp to those characters that are created in NXT and moved to the main roster. That should be the point. WWE should encourage people to want to watch NXT. Casual fan or not casual fan, they should have them interested in watching NXT. They should advertise NXT all the time. They should have once in a blue moon an NXT guy show up on the main roster. I didn't think what they did with Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa was a bad idea. I think it was a good idea to add them to the mix, get people some idea, an understanding, and have people interested to go watch NXT. This whole acting like NXT is its own entity is completely insane. They aren't their own entity. They're not another fucking wrestling company. They are a company that they're a brand. And honestly, ECW was used in the same way that NXT is being used. Only NXT is way better than ECW was used. But ECW was the stomping ground for a beginner in the WWE. It was to help them build a name, get people some interest in them, and move them into the main roster, which was Raw and SmackDown. And at that point, people would go ahead, know who they are. They'd have them thrown on Raw or SmackDown once in a while too, to get people excited. That was the point. That's what NXT should be like as well. NXT should be the new ECW, while NXT is still like what they are now. Don't change them to what ECW was in the 2000, 2007, 9, whatever. Whenever they started becoming shitty. About 2008 is really when they became crap. After 2008, they were nothing then. But that's my point. And that's how NXT really should be used. It should have once in a while a big, a star name from NXT show up on WWE Raw or SmackDown and have like an interesting little matchup. And that's how I feel they should do things. Another thing that I'd like to mention is the fact that Triple H is extremely, and I mean extremely pissed off and frustrated with Vince McMahon, but he doesn't have enough time to be able to go talk to him, which I find very interesting, that he has no way to have time to talk to his own family member. This is your family member. You're married into the McMahon family, and you have no way of talking to Vince McMahon. That's pretty fucking pathetic. Not by Triple H or anything, but by Vince McMahon himself. Vince McMahon should be looking to delegate work to each and every person. This man is 70 plus years old. He does not need to be running a company by himself. He should not, if he doesn't really care, if you don't really give a flying fuck about professional wrestling, at least give it to the people that do. You know? You're investing all this money. You've put all this hard work into the company. Wouldn't you want to at least see it succeed? And if you don't have the same passion that you once did, at least give it to the people that do. Still, Triple H cares about what he's doing. The rest of the McMahons care about what they are doing in WWE. They give a fuck. They really do care about this company, and yet Vince McMahon won't listen to no one. Why, I have no idea. I really don't know why a man like Vince McMahon has so much money and was, to me, a very creative, innovative genius turned stupid. I don't know how you go that stupid. If I was his age, let's be real, if I was his age, and I got bored of professional wrestling, and I won't lie to you guys, this week I watch WWE Network out the ass. I'll watch Ring of Honor. I'll watch Impact Wrestling. I'll watch New Japan Wrestling. I watch all of those different wrestling organizations. I have a subscription to each and every one of those programs for streaming. I will be the first one to tell you, I get bored after a while of watching professional wrestling day in and day out. It gets kind of, ugh. This week I went ahead and, for like entertainment purposes, I either watched a movie or I went ahead and I watched UFC events I haven't seen in a while or haven't gotten to see in 2018. That's what I did this week. During my time off from work, when I was done with work, I'd come home, eat my dinner, chill out, watch a movie or watch a UFC event. That's what I did on my time off from work. And if you feel that burnt out, fine. But don't take what your father built and destroy it. Have respect for your father's hard work and your own hard work as well. I mean, like I said, Vince McMahon was at one time was a genius as a creative writer and a creative maker of professional wrestling in WWE. He is not that person anymore because I think at this point he's burnt out from it. And there's no harm in saying that. But to destroy it just for you to say you created it and then you're going to destroy it just for your own ego, I think that's really disgusting. That's a slap in his own father's face, who gave him a fucking job and gave him the keys to the kingdom of WWE, and now he's going to destroy it. Very fucked up. Very, very fucked up indeed. I don't like that. I think that's a horrible way of conducting yourself, and it's very disrespectful to your own family and bloodline. That company isn't just a company. That is the McMahon's blood, sweat, and tears that they put into WWE. And this is the kind of respect that Vince McMahon has for his own father and his own family bloodline's hard work and what they did. That fucked up. Sorry. Don't like it. Think it's totally disrespectful. And it's a lack of respect by Vince McMahon himself. To himself and to his father and everyone else that has worked beside him for such a long time. Totally disrespectful and a slap into his old man's face. That's all I have to say on that subject. Triple H has every right to be frustrated, as well as everyone else has a right to be frustrated about this man and what he is doing in WWE. Because people give a fuck about this company. The people that still watch it are true and very much into the company itself. They love it. And they will follow it till the day they die. I love WWE. I will always follow WWE, but I will never have the same respect I had once before. And that's because of the owner of the company. I don't like the upper level management. That is Vince McMahon. And that's all I have to say on that. Anyway, guys, it was just a nice little short random wrestling talk episode. Episode number 14. Leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. And I thank you very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. By the way, I'll have a Money in the Bank pay-per-view up and loaded tonight. I will be doing that review immediately it goes off the air. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great night. Bye.